Yeah, it's 20 years of Arsene Wenger as coach of Arsenal. You know, remember when back when the talk of who's going to take over at Arsenal after Roch was fired in the summer of '96, and everybody was talking about Johan Cruyff and a host of other names that crept up. Nobody mentioned Arsene Wenger, but then eventually, I think it was David Dane who went to Japan and brought in Arsene Wenger from Grampus, and Arsene Wenger had coached at Monaco before, worked at different places, and eventually came to Arsenal. My take on Arsene Wenger for these 20 years. I mean, it's okay to talk about the years where the team have gone without a trophy, where the team have suffered, where the team has struggled to sign in players, where Wenger, you know, have stubbornly stuck to certain kind of tactics that have not worked. I mean, in life there are ups and downs. Nobody have it all. Nobody is perfect. God created the world. There were still flaws at the end of the day. So let's not bring the fact that he failed and use that to gloss over all of his good. And then let's also not use the good to gloss over all of his feelings. But then I'm going to rate him, like I said on radio earlier on. I'm going to rate him first things first, 75 over 100. For that's a pass mark. Arsene Wenger is and was responsible for changing how the English game is played. Before Arsene Wenger came in, we used to say that the English league is kick and follow. That's what I mean. Here in Nigeria, I grew up in Warri. I remember, traveling, to the UK two times within that period before the Wenger era, and it was always that team that play kick and follow, Liverpool police football. That's what they used to call them. And then the diet, the English used to drink a whole lot. Look at the old players, all of them got retired and went into drinking binge here and there and suffered alcoholic related problem. But Arsene Wenger came in, changed the diet at Arsenal. This is not something I'm just framing up, but you can ask anybody who's within the system to tell you, change the way they play. Not just that, also, Arsene Wenger is responsible for making young players to come to Arsenal. Nicolas Anelka, Fabregas, Patrick Vieira, Christopher Ray, a whole lot of them, Junashi Inamoto, and a whole lot of these young players coming to play in England was because Arsene Wenger had ventured into doing it. Yes, you would say that also blocked the way for developing young English players, but the truth of the matter, it made the league global. It made the league better. Arsene Wenger was the second coach after Chelsea to play an entire non-English league players, and Arsene Wenger also made the league more cosmopolitan with the kind of squad that he had, and Arsene Wenger set up a system where one player was able to make two players become legends of the club. Dennis Beckham made and Wright become legend in terms of goal scoring, and the same Dennis Beckham made Thierry Henry become a legend. And then in between there was Kano Wankwo, you can't forget him. There was Nicolas Anelka, you can't forget him. Patrick Vieira, Christopher Real, Lorena Tememea, and the solid backline that he made. That had. David Seaman behind them, Steve Bould, Nigel Woodburn, Lee Deason, Martin Keown, Anthony Adams, and the rest of them. And then the Rashford Pele, I'm talking about Ray Palo, and those of all the players that Arsenal has seen. These days, you look at the Arsenal team and you say they are lacking the steel that they used to have in the 90s, in the late 90s and the early 2000s. They are lacking that fight and that desire, that passion. But then, let's not also forget that Arsene Wenger was part of the team. I don't like giving him credit for the building of Emirates because the club have a board and the board is responsible for that. But it so happened that it coincided with the time that he was at Arsenal. So I give him a little credit for that. I think that losing the finals of the Champions League in 2006 was more of Arsene Wenger's tactical naivety than anything. He wanted to stay loyal to his French players and his old players. I mean, Flamini had been doing well for left full back. Ashley Cole had just come back from injury. He played him. Jose Antonio Reyes was, for me, the best player in the running, alongside Cesc Fabregas. In the running to that final, he decided to put him on the bench and play Robbie Perez. To me, that's the reason why Arsenal lost the finals, not because Arsenal was extraordinarily better than Arsenal or the referee was bad. But that said, I think plenty of credit must go to a coach for staying loyal to his belief. It's not easy in this current world where we have people changing opinion every day because some people say so. Look at Jose Mourinho, as great as he is, he's been controlled by people's opinion to play this player, play that player, a whole lot of people. So when you meet a coach, a man who is able to stick to his principles, sometimes they're not working anyway, but a man who is able to stick to his principles, stand by his word, do the things the way he thinks they should be done, follow the meticulous way, the planning, the shrewd way of doing business. I think all I've got to say is respect, salute, and appreciation for a man who's made the club that I love to expand globally. Arsene Wenger, you should be given the credit for putting Arsenal on the global map, and for a whole lot of things that is done. 6 FA Cup. That's not just something that happened coincidentally. It's not by accident. And since he came to England, he's played in more finals and won than any other coach in England. So all that put together, yes, there's always the flaw of not winning the European title. There's always the flaw of losing setting championship that I should have won. I think that season that Eduardo got injured, Arsenal should have won the league title. This past season where Leicester won the title, Arsenal should have also won the league title, because it seems like all the big teams, they just step back. And then a few transfers that Arsenal was unable to complete. Worst of them all is his inability to sign Luis Suarez. But that said, I think I'm going to salute Arsene Wenger and say, well done, sir. Do I want him to continue to do 21 season more? I don't think so. I think after this contract, he should step up, maybe go into the director's box or something else, or move on further down. But his loyalty for these 20 years has been fantastic. He's done very, very well. He's helped us to get some very, very beautiful moments. Let's not forget the Invisible season and the host of all the seasons that we've had. I was privileged to have a photo section with him in Brazil at the World Cup, and also ask him a few questions. We spent about 2 hours plus having a chat. That was a fantastic moment for me as a person. I want to salute Arsene Wenger, even though I'm one of his worst critics. But I think in the last 20 years as Arsenal coach, he's done incredibly well. Take a bow, Arsene Wenger. I greet you.